Also, when we come to Nadayoga, it's a path that takes you to silence, which is the origin of Nada, right? The Manolayam happens, the mind dissolves. The mind needs something to focus on. It needs an object of meditation. Otherwise, it is very distracted. It keeps on jumping from one to another. But in meditation, we start with concentration. Like there are different techniques of meditation where you observe the breathing, different energy centers of the body, or any mantra, or things like that, right? So in Nada Yoga, we focus on the Anahata Nada sound. Anahata Nada is the literal translation of the word Anahatam is the unstruck. It never breaks, it never ceases. Once you start hearing, it's ongoing, it's continuous. It was always there, we never noticed because it's subtler. Same like the aura, the chakras and all. It's all there, all the time it is there. But unless you become aware of it and you become hypersensitive, you are not aware of them. Until somebody guides you to those things, we don't see, or we are not clairvoyants naturally. Those things are not needed in a day-to-day basis, right? So same way, once you start hearing, like in Vipassana, about sensations of the body, Goenkaji says, there is a sensation in every part of every single cell of your body at any given point of time. All the time it is there. But when we start to observe, deeper and deeper, you start to become aware of that. So it's just an expansion of the awareness, the consciousness, right? Same thing here. So if you have noticed, if you go to very silent places, no traffic noise, no like maybe AC running or fan, something like that. Very silent, natural places, maybe like a forest or inside a cave or something like that. Naturally, very silent place. You start to hear that something like maybe like a cricket sound or something, right?
Yeah. I thought there are so many crickets.
So that is actually what you are hearing is the inner sound. That is from within. That's not outside of us. But our ears are naturally open, right? And our eyes, we have the capability, if you want, you can close your eyes, you can shut the locum, right? You can turn inwards. But ears are naturally open all the time. If you have to close, you have to use your effort to close them. So that's what we are doing here using the Shanmukhi Mudra. Shanmukhi Mudra is... did we do that last time?
No, we didn't do that.
Okay. Yeah. You might be familiar with the Brahmari Pranayama, right? So in Brahmari, we plug the ears like this muscle outside, the small muscle outside of that you press with the thumbs on both sides, and these 4 fingers, index fingers above the eyelids, the middle fingers on the nostrils, ring fingers above the upper lip, and the pinky fingers below the lower lip. This is the mudra. And these 4 fingers are very gently placed. You don't press them, but only the thumbs you press slightly harder so that you shut off the external sounds. Not completely, you still can sometimes hear loud sounds and all if it is there outside. That is fine. But good enough to listen to the inner sound. So that is the mudra. We are going to do Brahmari Pranayama for some time. So using the mudra, Shanmukhi Mudra, you will be making a humming sound. Humming sound is like you are uttering ma syllable with your mouth closed. Like that. Okay, you can then once you completely exhaled, uttering the ma syllable, then take your time, no hurry. Take a long, slow, deep breath in, full breath in, and again breathe. As you breathe out, you do the humming sound. Brahmari means the bee. So when it rounds, comes around, it makes the sound, right? Like that, right? So same way, we'll be making that sound when you breathe out. And then again, no hurry. Take your own time, slow pace, long, deep breath in. Again, do the humming sound. Like that, we'll do for 7 times. Okay, we can start now. We can use the mudra. Plug the ears, these 4 fingers gently placed. You have a question?
I've been doing pranayama for a number of years, so the way I've been doing is just also plug the nostrils a little bit, and then the humming sound stays inside, sort of, and the nostril is also not left like lightly.
Okay.
Pressure.
Yeah, you can do the way you were practicing. That's fine.
But you only emphasize only on closing the
Yeah.
ears.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try one.
And while you are practicing that, you can focus your awareness on the humming sound. Okay, we'll do that 7 times. So immediately after the pranayama, we sit with the eyes closed for a few more seconds. So what did you hear at that time when you stopped humming and when you sit with your eyes closed?
I was going to ask you that. When you have this ringing in your ears, that's what keeps when I'm silent. I don't know why when I'm doing vipassana I don't hear it at all. Maybe my focus is someplace else.
Right.
But when I do this type of pranayama or think of sound, and then only that bringing in the ears is what is very predominant. So I have a question. How does one overcome that and hear from within,
Yeah, there is nothing to overcome. Like you said, it is about what your focus is on, right?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, one of the Upanishads, I don't exactly remember which one, but I remember learning, the 5 sense organs: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and the touch, the skin. Did you observe all of them are on your face, on the head, right? Even though the skin is all over the body. So these 5 sense organs are just instruments. It's just it's like a receiver. But what is it that is actually seeing? What is it that is actually hearing? What is it that is actually smelling, tasting, and touching? Is deeper, much within, right? You can say the mind. Even the mind is also jada vastu. The mind and matter, the body and the mind. These both are jada. They are unless the life is not there, the life force, the life energy is not there, they don't function. Right? So that is what is hearing, that is what is smelling, that is what is tasting, touching. So this awareness, meditation is the path of awareness, any form of meditation. So when this awareness is focused onto one object, that will start to reveal. As you keep on observing, it will reveal all the secrets by itself. It is already there. We have not just focused on such aspects. That's all. All you need to do is just be aware and like a witness, you simply sit and observe. Everything, all the knowledge is there within oneself. The Guru within will reveal everything to you. So that is meditation all about. That's how all these ancient times, all these rishis have come up with all these findings of theirs, right? Rishis are the ones who see the truth, the reality, the deeper realities pertaining to oneself and intent the universe.
Yeah. Is that Keno Upanishad?
I can't exactly recall. If you search it up, you say, I'm sure it might be there.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. You're right.
Okay. Yeah. So, this Brahmari Pranayama is a very good preparation to go deeper into the Nadayoga. We will take this journey, step by step. I can tell you everything, what all you have to do, and then, that may not help as much as we go stage by stage, discussing and practicing. That may be more beneficial. That's what I am thinking. You can also share your experiences and feedbacks so that accordingly, we can modify the journey if needed.
Was a very intellectual people, like reading, watching, etc., all good stuff, but that takes a lot of time. So Padmaji is also very experiential, but I'm not. So I think what you're saying, even if it's baby steps, I would prefer not to know but to do.
Exactly,
And also after the Brahmari, it's not exact. It's just even when you're talking in between, I hear like almost like an electric current. If you're in a space that's just doing something, it's just going around my head.
Yeah. So every single cell of our body is vibrating, right? Every point of time, every single molecule is vibrating, and vibration creates a sound, right? So that's what in Tyagaraja Kriti, Tyagaraja says, Nada Tanu Manisham Shankaram. Shankaram, Lord Shiva's body, Tanu is body, his sound, it is Nadam. That's why he is dancing. He is called Nataraja, right? So when we are talking about Shiva, it's about ourselves also, right? We are part of him, so it has to have the same quality, same characteristics. It's just for us to be tuned into that kind of awareness, right? That's what all these techniques are. Shiva himself, he is the, Adi Yogi, is the origin of all these different types of yoga has come from him. Yeah, sometimes.
We were talking about the vibrations, how everything is vibrating.
Yeah. So that creates sound. In that article, you are mentioning about that specific line where it says the Guru, in his quote, I have posted, a very single cell of the body vibrates and it creates. It's so beautifully put there.
Yeah, very beautiful written.
Yeah. So our job is now to bring it to our own experiential level, rather than reading and intellectually understanding it, to experience it. That's what we are trying to.
Mm-hmm. The one question I had about the practical aspect of the Brahmari, it's a very, the constant question. When I was listening to you, there was some subtleness about it. I felt like, and also you had a longer duration of the. It was there, but it was so subtle. But when I am hearing myself, I don't hear the subtleness, but I hear the. It's like when you go lower, and then. And also I felt when I was just listening to you, actually I could feel that in my body. Like when I just quietly, I didn't do it and just listened to you, I felt as if what you were, the sound was permeating. It felt like you were saying Om, that kind of went, kind of like that, it surrounded you. But when I was doing that, it kind of didn't rise up, it didn't engulf my body. It's like as if it was just resonating in the very lower part of my body, that's all. So what is that you are doing that gives that feeling of like as if the whole body is, and it was very subtle, it was soft and subtle, and for a longer time, like I had to do almost 3 or 4 by the time you finished one. And so each time I saw a start, something gets disturbed. The starting, when you're towards the middle, something happens. But when I stop and start again, that feeling goes away and it's like restarts. So how do you cultivate? How did you cultivate what you're doing?
So one thing is the breath. That is what, how much ever deep breath you are able to take. That's the duration of the exhalation, right? They are directly proportional to each other. So when you take a deep breath in, make sure you take as much as you can. See, like taking a deep breath, I think now it is complete. No, I still can inhale, continue to inhale and fill the upper lobes of the lungs also. Take a full breath as much as you can without much, effort or strain.
Yeah.
You have to take the full breath slowly. No hurry to do that. No, not a breath in. It's not that one. Take your time and slowly inhale as much as you can. If you feel like stopping, if it's complete, still try to inhale more and then fill it up, and then you start humming. And while you are humming, you try to listen through your right ear. Okay, that's what is suggested in the technique in one of the Upanishads about Nadayoga. Nada Bindu Upanishad is there. Like I told you, I'm not able to find the text anywhere anymore, but maybe it will pop up someday. Nada Bindu Upanishad. I have read that from Divine Life Society in Rishikesh. It's the Shivananda's book is there. They have an archives, but to go through all of them and find it will be a task. But since I have already gone through that, whatever I remember, but it'll be nice if we can find that sometimes. You might come across something else sometimes. He is very authoritative in all these things. He has written a lot of books about different types of meditations, and Nadayoga is one of them. He had many Nadayogis around him. That Parvatikar, you saw that video, right?
Yeah, the Nadayogi.
The sitar player.
Yes.
The saintly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Parvatikar. My guru Nitya Chaitanya used to mention to me about him when I was with him. He used to tell like Parvatikar is another yogi. You might come across him like that. But recently only I came across his video.
Rolled around so many times in the last couple of years, it seems, in some context or the other. So I keep coming across the same video, or I think some of his foreign students, like Westerners, had done something.
Right.
There might be some videos of how his life or something like that, like a biographical something. So that same thing has come up so many times. And last year we took another yoga class with a younger person from Rishikesh, Padmaji and I. So the institute he is part of now, the Nadayoga Institute in Rishikesh. I think he had also mentioned that it came from Baba and then it came to this person's guru. So he was the third generation. So I think in that context it had come up. So I think I had looked him up. Very interesting. I mean, of course, that's a name associated with Nadayoga. And then he was also a musician.
So one thing I want you to be very clear in mind in this journey of ours together, in search of, in the path of Nadayoga, is that we are not going to work around in the periphery. We will be very soon diving into the subtler aspects of it.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, music might not have a big role in this. Music is part of Nadayoga. Definitely, that helps, that refines the mind to a big extent. Like when you go to any spiritual journey, you will come across Japa Yoga, right? People start chanting names. There are different techniques, different levels of Karma Yoga. Some people, Bhagavad Gita itself mentions about different techniques, different paths, which all take you to the same goal, destination. So you can take different routes. So music is definitely, helping you, guiding you towards that. If you have that angle, it can take you. But it is not mandatory or absolutely essential. There are like shortcuts that you can take, or you can take the longer route. It's all up to us, our interest, right? When you're doing a journey, how you want to trek, it's each individual's choice. Yeah, you enjoy a lot of music. You want to sing, you want to be meditative in music. That's fine. It's like you see flowers around the journey. You stop by, you watch the flowers. You enjoy the valley of flowers there in Himalayas when you travel, right? I think it's on the way to Kedarnath. You deviate. So you enjoy such things, but your goal is not to, get stuck there. You want to keep going. You want to reach where you want to go. So that's the approach we are going to take. We might in between sometimes discuss or some practices or something related to music, but that is not our. That's all like the preliminary steps. But we might have already, outgrown those stages. May not be needed for everyone. So we can try, if how we can see how far it goes like that. So when you say Nadayoga, the mind immediately attributes to sound, but we have to substitute that with silence.
Actually, the Indica Yoga, one of the videos I was watching, I forget the person who was talking. He said, I think I sent it to probably our group. Anyway, that is the first video I kind of got the distinction between Nada Upasana and Nada Yoga. He says very clearly, Nada Upasana is, what you described as getting involved and through it, experiencing maybe whatever. But Nada Yoga, he says, does not have a bearing on the musical aspects of that Upasana. Yeah. But I didn't know. I thought many times, I used to get confused. I had merged the two together.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you had to go to Nada Yoga through Nada Upasana, means you do Upasana on, like Vipassana, I used to think, like Upasana and Nada or music, and then you go to Nada Yoga.
Yeah, they are all connected, of course, they are all good. At least maybe, some naturally everybody is inclined to music. There are very rare people who don't like music, are against music. Mostly everyone who has some refinement of the mind, at least have cultured the mind to some extent, they will definitely like music.
Any type of music also.
Any type of music, yeah. So probably you can consider it as a device to attract towards the path of silence.
Yeah. Yes, that's a good one. Yeah.
So I think the learning of especially classical art forms tunes your ear much better to an external subtle sound first, and then I think that becomes a tool.
Correct.
To tune into a subtler sound inside.
Right. Once you start listening to the inner sound, the subtler sounds, deeper sounds in the meditation, the sensitivity of the ears will multiply. You will start hearing, when you listen to some music or instrument or anything, you will start hearing sounds, maybe like anuswarams, we call it anuswaram in Carnatic music. The semitones, the very microtones are there, which won't come to notice of a layman listener. Only trained ears will even hear that sound. And that too, if you're a music student, maybe we will hear that only when the guru tells you, see, listen, this is it. This is what how it should be. Then only you start hearing that sound. Until then, the brain thinks it is something flat. So, yeah.
Yeah, he also suggested in that somebody asked a question, what if someone is not musically trained? Then, how do you, she was talking about Upasana first. And then he says, no worries, you just put the tanpura on and just listen to your tanpura. And if you keenly listen every day for a set number of hours, and then you will develop all those subtleties because it is, the tanpura is like that. It will give you all the,
Yeah, what I mean to say is, and vice versa. Right? So in Vipassana, Goenkaji says, Sukuma se olari tak, which means from gross to subtle.
Yes.
So Nadayoga is about from sound to silence, you can say.
Mm.
So listening to playing a tambura, that's all ahatanada.
Mm. Yeah.
We are set to the anahatanada.
Mm.
So we have to be very specific about what nada implies here in our from our context.
Mm-hmm.
So
And one other question I have, any teachers, spiritual teachers you listen to or you read about or from, they say in Kali Yuga, Nam Sankirtan is what's going to be the savior. So, and then we also have settler sciences available. So Nam Sankirtan is for everyone, and then some people can take more, or Nam Sankirtan is an easy thing. What's your thought on that?
it is about what that particular individual person requires at that point of time to transcend that and go to the next level. So that's why need of a guru. The guru, because out of his experience and knowledge and wisdom, once he sees a person, he understands what he should start with. When Sangha in disciples used to join Buddha for meditation, for some people Buddha give walking meditation. For some people, directly anapanasati. For some people, vipassana. So what technique you have to follow depends on the individual. And we ourselves might not be a very good judge, because we really don't know when a lay person go to come into the path. Somebody who has trodden the path already, he might be able to guide you. Okay, you come this way. This can easily take you. But if you go alone, you might still reach, but you might miss the road, your side road, and maybe lost for some time, walk, roam around, then again come back.
That's so true.
So, but why do all the teachers keep saying Kali Yuga, Nam Sankirtan is the only thing? Why don't they say for most of you it's Nam Sankirtan, but there are people who can take other paths as well.
Okay, such gurus who address the mass. There is a big group following. That is the easiest way to bring them all together and guide them towards the subtler aspects. Japa yoga is nothing less. Every step is needed towards. You have to walk every step. Mm-hmm. You have to know the entire field. To know. That's what Buddha says. The entire field of mind and matter you have to explore. Mm-hmm. So all that we have gone through, all that we have learned so far, all of them take you towards that. Every step has helped you reach here.
The preparation sort of thing.
Yeah, you can say. Yeah. They are no way lesser. Because of that only we are, at this. So we don't think linear. Think of a, sphere, spherical. So wherever you are starting, whatever you have traveled, it's not a beginning or it's not. When you think linear, this is beginning and this is the end. Then this is much far behind. Maybe lesser or something like that. It's not like that. You put different points on the sphere. All the points together make it a whole sphere.
Yeah.
So wherever you make a point, all those are needed to make it complete whole.
Got it.
So pranic healing has helped, vipassana has helped, and music has helped. But at every point of time, the life brings to us in the spiritual journey, whatever comes to us at that point of time, that is more relevant, and that's what something we need to explore. And then that is done, and it just drops off. You don't have to stick with it for the whole lifetime. Maybe another, you might explore another realm of the existence in another point of time in life. That time you won't think that that the Nadayoga was rubbish. It was foolish.
Nothing is.
That's what. It's all part of it.
Yeah, that's fully understood. Experientially.
Another blog I read that he describes very nicely the center and the periphery. He says how center and periphery are both so related. There is no center without the periphery, and without periphery there is no center.
Yeah.
So there's always, and then every part of that periphery is connected to the center. There is no part of the periphery that's not connected to the center. So that's how he was describing all, like exactly what you were. Yeah, I was visualizing that. That's what I read. Yeah.
So mind, the nature of the mind is dialectical. The duality. You can understand only in terms of center and periphery, inside, outside. That is the language of the mind. But when you are set on a journey of transcending the duality, it's all one. It's all part of the whole. So until the next week, on a daily basis, if possible, I want you to practice this Brahmari. Minimum 7 times, like how we did today, or you can even probably do more, maybe like 21 times. And then next week we will see the next step.
So there was a Swami in Southern California. I know Padmaji was very, very connected. I just heard of him. I never met him, but they were connected.
Oh yeah.
So I think he gave this technique of Brahmari, I think, and focusing on your Agya chakra. And so there were these bunch of, which is sort of irrelevant, but I just got reminded of. But then they have these videos of these children, like very young children. They'll blindfold them, and there'll be people sitting around, and they will say, "Oh, you're wearing this color," or even diagnosing medical issues and stuff. They cannot see this person, nothing. They will say, "Oh, I can see your stomach has this, your heart is having this or that." So it's very interesting that whatever you want to do with the same energy that you're creating with a certain action or kriya, what kind of things are possible.
It's all faculties of the mind. We all have those faculties. We never tapped into them. Not needed on a daily basis, right? So, but to explore, to understand the real nature, the potential of ourselves, it's good. If you take it as a transformative experience, then it's good to explore. Some people get stuck in such things, the siddhis.
They do, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I was just going to mention, I was actually present for one of those sessions where the kids were on the stage, and anyway, that's a different story. That's what in Yoga Sutras, Patanjali, we are doing that study with that study group, satsang, and I like that. Like he emphasizes, you will have all these siddhis, but do not get distracted.
Some of these siddhis will open up only when you are matured enough to deal with them. You don't even expose there is no requirement, right? Just to show off, like I can do this, that. That is not the purpose of the journey. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So let it.
I also. Sorry, you were going to say something.
I was telling, like, let it come and go. They are also they will also arise and passing nature only, changing nature.
Right. Yeah. And I also wanted to. I'm reading this article over and over again. That I think on Nadayoga. I'm forgetting what's the title.
And you shared that.
Bharati Pragna. And on page 7, anyway, I think we are too far away from that, but my mind keeps asking. He says, converting the nada and bindu into a single nada, and again blending nada, bindu and kala into a single nada, and thereby paying it attention with the utmost concentration is the true yoga. It went totally above my head. I was thinking maybe slowly, when we are, at least understanding a little bit, if you can parse those things, what is he trying to say over here?
Okay, so there is a treatise called Abhidhamma, right? You have heard of that, right? Abhidhamma is a book by Lord Buddha, written by Lord Buddha. So Abhidhamma is everything.
Okay, sorry, I got it now.
Okay, Abhidhamma is everything about the mind.
Yes, yeah.
You can say Patanjali's Yoga Sutra is a miniature form of Abhidhamma, or Abhidhamma is an elaborate form of Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, you can say.
Really?
Yeah. So, Yoga Sutra is all formulas. Small. Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. It's a formula.
Right.
So, intellectually, to understand cessation of mind is yoga, it doesn't really make any sense until you are able to stop the mind. There is no mind until you experience that. So, that is the technique of practice. So Abhidhamma has divided, dissected, everything, the mind in very, very like in a laboratory, how you would study every single aspect of the mind. One thought has come. The thought has subtler levels. Para, Pashyandi, Madhyama, Vaikhari. Right? So when you go to the deeper, where has it originated from? Where is the root of that thought that has surfaced into the conscious mind? It has much deeper roots, right? From there, he is able to explain everything in Abhidhamma. But if we read, like you said, it will all go above the head. It won't make any sense to us until in the meditation, the practice of meditation. That's why theory and practice should go hand in hand. Theory is needed. You don't have to completely disregard the theory and only practice. You should know what you are doing. You should understand that. You should be able to explain it to, the Sangha. But don't just become a musicologist. You have to be a musician too.
Actually, Goenkaji mentions in Vipassana initially, like he says there are so many levels of the mind, but do not go into the mind, just stay with the framework of your body, and the sensation, and first experience that, because he doesn't want to touch the realms of the mind. He said it is vast and...
Right. It is very tricky. It can trick you. We will think we are working on the mind, but actually the mind has taken you somewhere.
Yeah, he says bring it back and start again. Yeah.
I think it's also sort of a distraction and a waste of time most of the times, because neither you're there nor you're here, because mind has not only gone a million miles ahead, also taken you a million miles away from what you should have been doing.
This kind of reminded...
Hands-on is more necessary, I think, than a lot of Not that we are doing that personally, but a lot of reading and intellectualizing. You start feeling this ego saying, wow, I know so much. So such good stuff. But don't know it from personally again. I'm talking about myself. Really, I have so much work to do. Even about music and all, we keep talking and know everything about Drupad. I've heard people talk about it, the structure, this, that, but no inclination to sit and practice and take it from point A to point B. So it's a lot of hands-on work which we need it in many directions that we have been touching upon.
And one question, last time you mentioned Mahasatipatthana. You said you had, so what is the difference between Satipatthana and Mahasatipatthana?
Both are same only. So in Sati's awareness, Patthana is to establish in awareness. So main difference in the two courses of Vipassana and Satipatthana. In Vipassana 10 days course, you meditate maybe for 10 hours, right? In Satipatthana, you meditate for 24 hours.
Yeah, but then it's a little shorter. Like you go on, I did one Satipatthana after several 10 days, but then instead of going on Wednesday, he asked us to come on Thursdays. It was like 1 day shorter or something.
Yeah, it's only 7 days or 8 days, I think. 7 days, and 8th day you complete.
But at that time I didn't see, when I went to only one Satipatthana, but I did not see the difference. We were sitting with all the 10-day Vipassana students, new and old, and only the discourses were different.
Okay.
At that stage, I didn't recognize what the difference between that 10-day Vipassana and the Satipatthana was. So that's why I was going to ask.
It is more intense, that's it. You try to maintain your awareness even during night. You don't actually lie down and sleep the full time in the night.
Yeah.
You will be sitting and you will be still observing. You get the required rest for the body and mind. Maybe like for 2-3 hours you might lie down and sleep off. But still, the observing the sensation, it will be happening in the subconscious mind because you had been doing that throughout the day.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So that's how it becomes.
That is the idea of Satipatthana. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It happens automatically. You feel like, why am I not able to sleep? Because you feel like you're continuing on in that. Because when you do 10-hour, 13-hour meditation, the Vipassana, it just feels like you're continuing, but I didn't understand that. Okay, all good.
Yeah, when you travel in a train for 2-3 days, even if you get to your home, you still feel like you are moving in the train, right?
Yes. Oh, okay.
So momentum, it gains a momentum, and the subconscious mind starts doing it on its own without any effort from our side.
So now in this week's practice of Brahmari, what are the things that we need? Are there steps to get to the stage where you are, or just practice the way it comes, or how do we?
So one obstacle that can come during your practice of Brahmani is when you hold like this, your hands will start to hurt if you are not used to sitting like that. So all these physical obstacles will be there first, back pain, something or the other, like that. So that's something that we need to overcome. That's why you practice Hatha Yoga, asanas, all those things. It's okay if you want to support your elbows, maybe keep some raised stool or something on either side, just rest a chair or something, and you can rest them so that that's not an obstacle. You can sit for longer duration. So whatever time comfortable for you, you can practice. And then another important step is, once you finish the humming, you come back to the sitting meditation posture. Be in silence for some time also. Sit as long as you want. Whenever you want to come out, you can slowly open your eyes and come out of it. So So when you are,
Focus on the right ear.
yeah, listen through the right ear. That will.
During humming, you focus on the right ear, and after the silence, also you focus on the right ear.
Yeah, that's a good practice because eventually when we get to the Anahata Nadam also, that's what we are going to practice. Sound you might.
What's the difference between right ear and left?
Okay, sound you might be hearing through both ears. Okay, but you focus on the right ear. It's okay sometimes. It's okay. Sometimes your attention goes to the left ear also. Maybe you are listening from the center. Sometimes automatically the mind, does all these things. Let it, and then whenever it comes to your attention, you bring it back to try listen through the right ear. It's about the Ida and Pingala connection. Like left nostril, when you breathe, how it affects the Pingala and the Ida, right? So in Aloma Viloma Pranayamam, we are balancing the breath, balancing the energies. The Ida and Pingala are in helix shape, corresponding to the spinal cord. So normally if we check, one of the nostrils is partially open, right? So now right nostril is, I think we discussed this last time.
No, we didn't, but we have been exploring that for a while too.
So right nostril is more open means my left brain is more active at this point of time. After some time it will automatically change. The left will be more open. About 45 minutes it will keep alternating. So in yoga there is a technique, say my left nostril is partially blocked now. I lie on my right hand side like this. It will slowly open up. Have you observed that? Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Rekha did a lot of Swara Yoga. It's from yeah.
So in night during sleep, that's why we keep turning sometimes. Sometimes we lie on the left side, sometimes we turn automatically. Unconsciously, you might be sleeping, you might be in deep sleep, but the body makes these adjustments to balance the Ida and Pingala. It has to be balanced, but then only morning when you get up, you will be fresh, right?
On the changing of breath, I've come across many techniques, including making a fist and putting it under your arm.
Right, yeah.
With the area which is open. And the easiest one I found, a teacher in Taiwan actually, now he's in Australia, and he would just say, whichever side you want to open, you just bend your head this way and let that thing. And that turns out like you're anywhere. You can be doing many things.
Right.
Put and about. Like for eating and stuff, they say when you're eating food, your right nostril should be open. When you're drinking water, so I follow a lot of those things. So I found that just this turning of head, it's a very subtle thing. Nobody needs to notice. I'm not putting a fist or lying down or anything. So that was the easiest technique I found out for changing nostril.
The breath will be naturally, it comes to a balanced state during the Sandhya times.
It's like the sunrise, sunrise?
Yeah, the dawn, the dusk, and the midnight, and the afternoon, the noon.
Yeah.
These are the 4 Sandhyas, right? Those are the times when naturally the body comes to that balance. That's why all the prayers, the religious things, they ask to do it during the Sandhya times.
So many sciences India has offered. It's remarkable.
It's wonderful. We'll do one thing. We have done, a little bit of practice. It's not more than practice. It's just learning at this stage. You already know. Still, we went through the technique of Brahmari, and it was more of talking. Right? We'll do just 5 minutes of silently. We'll just sit and listen to the sound. After 5 minutes over, I will ask you to open your eyes. Until then, you can try to sit with your eyes closed and just silently observe listen to the natural sound. A lot of talking was still going on in the mind.
or the Hindolam was going on in mind first. For some reason, all of a sudden, and then slowly it went into just, I dove into Vipassana, and then suddenly started hearing my heartbeat more than my ringing sound. So, but yeah, none of these things happen when I'm just doing Vipassana daily. I just watch the breath and I'm not in this space at all. But there's something I have to disconnect. The moment sound, then either some music comes, and also, this chant, Narayana Om Namo, that also was coming. And I had to say to the mind to calm down, and then go into Vipassana to just watch my breath. And then I started to hear my heartbeat pretty loud, actually. So I don't know. That's
nice.
To hear that, to just hear that Nada is going to take Avin.
So the word Anahata refers also to the chakra Anahata, heart center, right?
Yeah.
So in Vipassana, once you start working with the chakras and all, the heart is the chakra that you come at the end, the last one.
Actually, in Vipassana, when I applied recently, they had a lot of questions. They asked, do you do any other type of,
techniques?
They addressed even pranic healing, and they said you need to not practice pranic healing if you want to start the session with Vipassana. Because I hadn't gone for a long time, I wanted to go to the center. So I had to fill a big questionnaire, and I had to tell them I'm not a practitioner, I just do pranic healing. Like that, yeah.
When I went deeper into Vipassana, there was a time when I even stopped listening to music. I was completely stopped practicing violin and...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, maybe like 2 to 3 years. Then later on slowly came back.
Oh, wow.
So one small or maybe large question, if, just coming out of what you just said. So all of us are grihasthas, right? And with, I can only talk to myself, I have very lofty goals, and I'm nowhere. I'm, -9 baby step, if I may call it. So say something, little bit more profound happens in life. How do you actually, you still have, I have kids who haven't gotten married yet, and I have, in-laws, and I have this, and life, profession. How do you maintain this and that? This wants to pull you this way, and that wants to pull you the other way. How do these two things stay together, and you still remain sane? Everybody still sees you as a human being who can operate either way. Your insight can be calm in either situation. If this happens, great. If it doesn't, if a meditation practice doesn't happen because your day is very busy, it should become part of you, I guess. So just, you understand what I'm saying. How do you maintain both life? Is it necessary, or how do you do it?
So both are not different. The way of looking at it as this and that is the nature of the mind, the dualistic nature of the mind. Actually, this is that, and that is this. It's right here, wherever you are, in whatever situation we are at that point of time, that is the best suited atmosphere, environment. It is not against. See, we think as against because we resist sometimes. If you just accept it as it is definitely there to help you and support you. If you are put it in a forest, in a cave, you are not going to do this meditation as smoothly as in your apartment, in your house right now, with all these facilities and the fellow human beings. The vibrations help what you practice. It helps them also. They also benefit out of it. They also slowly develop some inclination towards it. They might not explicitly show it at the initial stages, but definitely those vibrations reach them at some point of time when they are ready. Also, they will also explore the inner journey by themselves, when the situation is conducive for them. So don't take it as something that is a hindrance in your path. They are all supportive system which God has given, life has given. Just need to have that trust. There is no better situation. There might be litmus tests. You will be sitting for meditation and something else comes up. How deep you are anchored in your meditation, how equanimous you are. All these things might be tested. Take it as an opportunity to know yourself better. Okay, my mind is getting distracted, agitated. It's getting restless. So I have to do more practice and maintain that state. So once you are in control of the inside, you are in control of the outside also. Whatever is happening in our life is a manifestation of our thoughts, right? Suppose we have to stop the class now and get up and stand and go outside. First it has to come as a thought in your mind, then only the body follows, right? So everything is like that. The house that we are living in, it was a thought in somebody's mind, it was an idea in somebody's mind, then it manifested as a physical form. So whatever is happening, it's all our own manifestation of thoughts only. The life outside is you created it, and now we need to accept it. It is fine. Yeah.
You're totally true. I can tell you. I've lived for 74 years and asked many questions like this. Now I'm recognizing you need to integrate everything.
Yeah.
Embrace and integrate and just take one day at a time. And if you ask too many questions, then you get confused about even today, what you're doing, where you are.
All these questions, everything will slowly settle later. It's good to ask, it's good to talk. After some time, all this talking will be, all gibberish in the mind. It's not good. You will realize this is not it, and you will come to that silence within. That's the time when Gurostu Maunam Shishyostu Chinna Samshaya. I don't have to answer your questions, but your answers will be your questions will automatically dissolve. So we are trending towards that silence which has all the answers. Keep going.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
What I hear a lot in my household is I have a very pitta tendency. Like I'm very go fast, do everything nicely, and my body also sometimes takes a back seat. My mind works faster. And I try all these different practices because I have this inclination to explore, and then I get out of that and I see something is not done correctly or something, and I explode, right? And my husband has this constant thing, what happened? You're the one who meditated and I don't, and you are calmer than you, right?
Yeah.
So it's a big slap. I'm thinking, am I wasting my life? Neither am I enjoying this, nor am I getting anywhere in that. And there's such a dichotomy. I cannot take my practice, any practice that I do, I'm not a meditator as such, but whatever I'm doing a little bit is not translating into my life, or it doesn't seem that much. So are the people who are actually just enjoying, eat, sleep, be merry, are better than, what am I doing at this time?
It's a very common phenomenon in people's life.
हिंदी में एक वो होता है कि ना खुदा ही मिला ना वे साले सनम ना इधर के रहे ना उधर के रहे. Nothing, no God, no material life, you're just like no man's land, like kuch nahi, idhar bhi nahi, udhar bhi nahi. So is something going to happen in this lifetime, you think? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, so these conflicts will be eliminated when we when the duality of the mind diminishes, when we are able to see the oneness. Until then, it will be there. So we still need to work inside only, to solve all these issues, not outside. You leave the home and you go to forest and sit, but there will be other problems. So this is much...
to be thankful for whatever we got. So Brahmari is going to be the practice for this week?
Yeah, Brahmari and just 5 minutes of meditation with your eyes closed. You don't even need to listen to silence or observe breath or anything. Just simply sit. Whatever happens, let the mind do. Just observe. Just be a witness. After the Brahmari, just close eyes closed and just as long as you want. Don't put any specific time. Whenever you want to come out, maybe it will be 1 minute, maybe it will be 5 minutes, maybe 30 or 1 hour, 30 minutes or 1 hour, right? Whenever you want to come out, you slowly come out, gradually come out. That's what we will do for the rest of the week until we meet next.
So when you're doing the Brahmari and sounding, humming, that also you hear it from your right ear.
Yeah. As a practice, we will from now we will do that. There is nothing wrong in listening through the left, and sometimes the mind wants to listen from the left. It's okay. Let it again bring it back. Don't force or fight with it. Just effortlessly and easily.
So when we were, we just did the silent, sitting. Like my issues are more, technical, I guess. So when I do this and I'm trying to focus, it seems instead of your eyes also want to move where you want to focus, it seems, whether inside or outside. So it just seems like, okay, I want to stay focused on this and listen. But then it seems my whole vision inside starts shifting this way, and that kind of is, bothersome. Then everything, breath comes from center, and then your sound is not coming from here anymore. Then your eyes start moving this way. So is that something that happens, or is it?
Yeah, that is like a natural thing. Eyes, wherever eyes go, naturally, the focus, attention goes there. So even now, anyway, it is your eyes are closed. You are not keeping them open, so it doesn't matter. Don't bother about it. Let it go to the right side if it wants. Listen through the right. Sometimes if it comes, so that's what I said. Just leave it to natural. Sometimes be effortless. Right now, that is only during Brahmari. Brahmari it will work. During Brahmari, to focus on the right will work. You're just placing this fingers over the eyelids also. So if it goes to right, it's fine. Nothing wrong in that. But after that, when you sit in meditation, you don't need to do anything. You don't have to focus on anything, or you don't even try to stop your mind. Let it think. Just simply sit. That's it. Zazen.